There's the real thing.
I'm walking the tightrope. I'm sad and I'm lonely. Oh, but I'm taking the high road, baby.
And then there are imitations.
I'm walking the tightrope. I'm sad and I'm lonely. But I'm taking the high road, baby. Yes.
Loser. At the Beyond FM STL Showcase, we only bring you the originals, starring the 45. Modern Angst. Inner Outlines.
Don't send me a miracle. I don't deserve it if it's all my fault that I'm feeling miserable.
Saturday, April 8th at the Blueberry Hill Duck Room. It's the Beyond FM STL Showcase with the 45, Modern Angst, and Inner Outlines. This is an all-ages show and tickets are just $10. It's the Beyond FM STL Showcase. Saturday, April 8th at the Duck Room. Brought to you by Beyond FM.
Baby. Yes.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into another brand new episode. Today's feature, singer-songwriter Riley Holtz of Riley Holtz and the Lost Cause, along with special guest Nathan Sickmeier. You may have seen Riley playing around town at your local bar, but it was fun to get and sit down and get to know a little bit more about him and his story, and how him and Nathan met, and we play some live acoustic songs and talk about their album they're working on and a big party they have coming up on March 25th at the Duck Room in Blueberry Hill with John Henry. You're going to hear all about it on today's episode, and but grab those tickets and join them at the Duck Room. I do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri, serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps out there, and all kinds of delicious beverages. So you can come out and grab some dinner too. They have a wonderful food menu, including burgers and flatbread pizzas and nachos and salads and all kinds of tasty eats. And you can hear some great live music out there. On Thursdays, they've been doing this Singo Bingo night. And on Thursday, March 16th is Modern Rock night. And on Friday, March 17th is Josh Littig. And Saturday, March 18th, Steve Kyle. You can find their full concert calendar, beer menu, and food menu at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook and Instagram for more info. And if you are in the Hannibal, Missouri area or Flint Hill, Missouri, great news. Friendship Brewing Company is coming to you, opening 2 brand new locations this year. And they're coming along real quick. I think we're getting real close to opening day for all those. So you can find it all along with all the other info on the website, friendshipbrewingcompany.com. And if you've been following along, I got a big party coming up I would love to have you a part of on May 14th, Sunday, Mother's Day. We'll be over at the Old Rock House in St. Louis, Missouri to celebrate Debstock. And this is the benefit I put on in my mother's memory to raise awareness and funding for brain cancer patients. I lost my mother in 2019 to glioblastoma brain cancer, and I'm just trying to give back and turn a negative into a positive and do some good for some others in need. This year I brought along my friends in Russo and Company. Anthony became a great friend, and I'm super excited to see them take the stage, along with Emily Wallace, one of the best singer-songwriters around. Beautiful voice. Ryan Chaney of Fivefold fame and his own solo music, and comedy from Meredith Hopping. And it's going to be a great night. I can't wait to see you all there. Hit me up for tickets or etix.com. We'll have those also. Asking $15 for tickets, $20 day of show. And if you want to reach out too, I've got some t-shirts I'm doing a pre-order on. So get your official Debstock t-shirt. Beautiful design from Andrew Binder over at Icon and Ink. So thank you to them, and thank you to Old Rock House and everybody involved. I'm really can't wait to party with you all Mother's Day at Debstock at Old Rock House. If you need anything from me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me at rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode with Riley Holtz and Nathan Sickmeier of Riley Holtz and the Lost Cause.
The podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
What's up, guys? Riley Holtz here.
Nathan Sickmeier
Of the Lost Cause. We're here with Shane on Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Riley Holtz and Nathan Sickmeier. Riley Holtz and the Lost Cause, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the band name.
How you doing?
Hey, thanks for being here, guys.
Nathan is one of the Lost Causes.
Yeah.
Hence the name.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, man, this is cool. I'm very excited to be here hanging with you. I don't know. So I was kind of thinking about it because I feel like I'm known of you for a while. We've hung out a little while back and stuff, but as far as like this, like getting really get to know each other. This is the first time for this, so which is fun. This is all. I mean, I get to meet all kinds of people doing this show, so it's like still a good time to get to sit down and get to learn more about people and their music and everything else. So.
Yeah, man. No, I really appreciate you having us on here for real. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I appreciate what you do just for the business in general.
No kidding.
So.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I think was maybe like maybe around Open Highway when I first started getting to know about you, and something around that time, like maybe right before that.
Yeah.
And then we had like a fun night over at Carl's studio, getting to listen to some songs and things. So
Yeah. Played some songs, listened to some tunes. That was fun.
so that's like where I think that was the night we officially met. That introduced myself, and so anyway, so it's been this kind of I feel like this has been like kind of a long time coming now.
Yeah.
Like it's been something in the works for a little while.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're here, and but I'd rather that's kind of what's fun about this is I get the story directly from the source, and like I sit down and talk about some of these songs and stories, and but I guess tell me a little bit about Riley story growing up and I mean, is it you always from St. Louis? Is St. Louis home?
Yes, St. Louis is home. But I kind of lived all over Missouri. Yeah. Well, St. Louis, and then I lived in Southwest Missouri for a considerable portion of my throughout high school and after that. So, but I've been back in St. Louis for I guess 8 years now, 9 years. Yeah, 2023. Yeah. So, but St. Louis is where I grew up till I was about 13. So.
Right. Yeah. I noticed. All the Chiefs stuff. I figured it had to be some sort of Missouri.
Yeah. Sure. So I grew up in St. Louis, but I've always been a Chiefs fan. I tell the story when I was in kindergarten, my first fist fight. I had my Joe Montana jersey on, and Chiefs suck, whatever it was, and I turned around and popped the kid one, and then he proceeded to whoop my handed it to me. So but yeah, I've been a Chiefs fan forever, and so it's like I saw a lot of 2 and 3 win seasons, and now they're winning Super Bowls. So yeah, it's
how about them Chiefs?
I'm saying
that was an exciting night, man. That was fun to I was supposed to go to a party, and I just didn't really feel up to it for that day, so I just kind of watched the game by myself and on the couch, but it was still a good time, and still enjoyed the game. And
I had people here and I had to apologize for how stressed I was. Sorry that wasn't fun for you guys.
Yeah. I texted him several times, like, what are your nerves doing right now?
Yeah. But
that's always a gamble, especially when you're a super fan, that team that's playing, because it could end poorly, and it's like,
and it has in the history of being a Chiefs fan my whole life. It is it's ended poorly up until a few years ago. So
I got a buddy, he's a giant Eagles fan, and I haven't reached out yet, but see how he took it. But he knows, like if there's certain games on and stuff, like I'm gonna watch it by myself, because he's like, I don't even want to deal with people if kind of thing. So. I was speaking of all this too. I was just listening to a lot of Howard Stern show, and Richard Christie from his staff from Kansas City, and a huge Chiefs fan, and his wife, I guess, is from maybe the Philly area, Eagles fan. So he's like, and he's talking about watching the game. They were excited about it because both their teams are in the game, and then but he said he couldn't even enjoy it because she's like upset that in the second half. So he's like, he felt bad for his wife, and then it's like so he's like talking about down in the basement, like cheering like real quiet, like
I get that. I bet.
So I thought that was a funny. But yeah, man. So I guess where do you find music kind of enters the picture for you? Where does were you always playing as a kid, or?
Yeah, I've been singing. As my siblings will tell you, I haven't shut up since I was a kid. Right. I've been singing my whole life, and did choir and all that stuff, and vocal lessons, and I just always singing, but I never picked up any instruments till I got out of school, and I didn't have any more opportunities to sing. So I was like, oh man, I gotta learn an instrument to go play. And so I was about 19. I started playing guitar, and then really been playing ever since. Is
that something you kind of found on your own, or did you have family that played too? Or
no, I just my parents bought me a guitar when I was 14, and I remember my mom being like, Riley, this could change your life. And then I let it sit for about 5 years and didn't even touch it. And I was living in a little town, real small town in Southwest Missouri, and I was driving forklifts at a feed mill, second shift. And came home, and I started playing on it, broke the E string, and so then it was just a 5-string guitar. And I didn't have internet at the house or anything. I mean, we were, and it was just like strumming along, like learning stuff. I knew G, D, C, and E minor. My friend showed me that, and so I just like put on a capo, listen to some stuff. But it helped me. Like I learned pretty quickly doing that. So
yeah.
But yeah, alone in a room for 8 hours a night also helps.
Yeah. So. Or did writing come from that too, or is that?
Well, it's funny. We've recorded a couple songs that I wrote. Like the first song I ever wrote down in that time. Yeah, we actually recorded that, and I still play that, which is funny. But I wrote it and then couldn't figure out how to write anything else. Like that one came naturally, but then I didn't know enough to know where to go. It's like I know these 4 chords, but I don't know why they're there. So then I just and then I had a great. Either a blessing or a curse. I guess you could look at. But when I was 21, I had somebody hand me a couple $100 for playing cover music for 2 hours, and I was like, "Oh, well, this is way better than what I was doing," So I started doing that.
All right. What was do you know the first song you remember playing that you played all the way through and stuff?
Yeah, it was. I sang it at my sister's wedding, and it was oh man. It's a Big and Rich, not Big and Rich. John Rich wrote do you remember him? Do you remember Big and Rich?
Sure.
I don't remember the name of this song though. I remember he wrote it as like a love song. I don't know.
Did you sing "Save a Horse" at your sister's wedding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm walking to the anyway. Yeah, but now I don't remember it.
Yeah, they got a couple of pretty good ones from that Big and Rich era.
But it was the same chords and everything. It was the one I do remember. The second one was "I'm Yours" by Jason Mraz.
Yeah,
I learned that one and would somehow find a guitar at parties and like,
Right.
"Hey girls, want to hear me sing?"
How you doing?
yeah, man. This I just think it's fun, like to hear how everybody gets going and stuff, and how they're all like kind of typically the similar sense. For a lot of guys, it's to attract the ladies and stuff.
Of
grabbing
course.
grabbing guitar at the
I remember
party like that.
people in high school making fun of me, or just people in choir in general, not playing sports and all that. It's like, yeah, man, I'm in this class with 30 girls.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Enjoy that locker room. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But yeah, I started doing that, and then I did go to college for a year at Missouri State and joined a a cappella group, and sang down there and met through that a couple of the guys that I sang with. They were several years older than me. They started working on cruise ships in a cappella quartet, like singing doo-wop music and stuff. And after a few years and a couple auditions that I didn't get, they called me and they had a spot open, so I went and did that, sang in an a cappella group or a cappella quartet for I guess about a year. And then they canceled that. The cruise line canceled that. They were like, we're going to pay 2 guys instead of 4,
right.
actually. And so me and one of the guys, he was a fantastic piano player. He and I formed like an acoustic duo, and I played guitar, he played piano. And that's really when I started learning guitar, because he was a music education major. You know, he'd been playing piano his whole life. So I started learning more about theory and, you know, why the chords went where they went and things like that. And that really, really helped me play guitar. You know, sometimes I wouldn't even, I don't know what this chord is, but here's these 4 notes. He'd plug them out on piano and I'd figure them out on the guitar. I was like, all right, here we go. And now it's like, oh, that's a diminished chord or whatever. So,
right.
And then playing every night, you know, we had 2 days off a month. So we played every night, and that there's no better way to get your chops up than playing every night. So,
yeah, man. I made a couple bucks doing it.
Yeah. At the time, more money than I'd ever made. Looking back now, it's like, man, we didn't make anything. But it was crazy experience. Traveled all over the place, and it was a lot of fun. So,
well, where's when do you two meet then? When your paths cross?
So I came back. I thought to myself, there's no way you can be a musician for a living. You need to go back to finish school. So I got off the boats and came back and finished school and got my degree. But then I was working an office job and hating it and playing gigs at the same time. And Nathan and I met. We were playing an event over in Belleville, some art fair, and they had music all day. And I was playing in the morning, and I'm just standing there, and some guy pops up next to me, and I remember I played a Beatles song. He's like, "Man, that was really good," and I was like, "Thanks, dude." Like, this guy's just standing here. Who is it? I thought maybe he's a sound
he
guy.
had no idea who I
Yeah.
was. It was pretty funny.
And then yeah, after I got off stage, found out he was playing after me, and then I realized they were talking, oh yeah, he plays fiddle and he plays guitar, and I had found out later I had seen him play once before here at some local fair or whatever. He was playing in his cover band, and I remember leaning over to my girlfriend because there was this dude going back and forth in between violin and guitar, and I was like, Cassidy, this dude right here is killing it. Like, this guy is shredding. Like, who is this dude, And then ended up meeting him.
It's pretty hilarious, though, because at first he was just kind of like, I don't really know who you are. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah.
But, like, we should play some tunes together, dude. And
Yeah,
he's like, okay, man. Yeah.
But then when I put that together, I was like, yes, absolutely. When can we play it again? So, been, jamming ever since. It's
Yeah.
like 3-4 years now.
Maybe even longer.
Maybe 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be 5. So,
Time flies.
Yep.
Right.
The pandemic kind of like,
that
that one doesn't
Yeah.
count. but-
Right.
it's a year and a half gone. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm real bad about like telling stories like they were the other day, and then I find out like, oh, that was 20 years ago. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
yeah, I saw him last week.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that was 2012.
yeah.
Yeah, but within the pandemic is when I started writing. Friend of mine came to me. He had a song he wanted to write for he was getting married and wanted to write for his wife, and we put it together, and it very easily, or I guess more quickly than easily, but I was like, oh, well, I should try doing that, and so I had, because I only had a couple tunes, and then so I started writing, and I got lucky because one of the songs I wrote, Sitting Right Where Nathan Is, Moving On, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album, just happened. It was just one of those songs I just like started singing and a song came out, and it hasn't happened again since. I would love for that to happen again, but it like really like it lit a fire under my ass. And,
Yeah, man.
So I've just been doing it, and
Well, let's talk about it, because we did this Moving On. We did a live version with you two on guitars, and this is a song that hopefully people will be hearing a recorded version of soon. And but this was a fun take on it for sure, man. Hearing you two live today, and but I love the song, man. It really like. You sent me. You let me preview what you guys been working on, and it's just something special, man, for sure. So it's kind of cool to hear that it all like how it came to you like that. So
yeah, and it's funny because I wrote everything except the bridge. I didn't have any lyrics for a bridge, and then there was one line from a song that I love. I put it in like 3 different songs. I like that I tried to write because I just love this line, and I'd written it 10-12 years ago, and I was like, oh, there it is. It just like it finally found its home as in the song, and so that's kind of cool too, how it worked out that way.
yeah.
As I walk through the valley, something about the shadow of death, I remember my sweet Marie, still takes away my breath. Walking around such a long time, boots nearly wearing a hole, would let me on a submarine where the hell am supposed to go? I'm moving on a Sunday. Used to be illegal before noon. I'm sorry, Lord, I've got to get away. Don't expect me back anytime soon. I'm moving on a Sunday. Only beer and wine before 2. The taxman's come and I'm all alone. and I don't know what else to do. For once you were full of darkness, something about the Lord giving light. Line after line, some guys I don't know telling me how everything's gonna be alright. Well, maybe I return on a Saturday. Oh, right now life's taking its toll. Maybe by and by, some whiskey and rye, rock and roll can sure save one mortal soul. I'm moving on a Sunday. Used to be illegal before noon. I'm going east, off to a city where all I can afford is the room. I'm moving on a Sunday, only beer and wine, beef or two. It's too damn cold, snow in the day, while the azaleas should be in bloom. 100 miles from home, 1,000 more from my regret. Memories of you, what we were gonna do. Blow away with the smoke from my cigarette. I'm moving on a Sunday. Used to be illegal before noon. It's too damn cold, snow in April, while the Cynthia's should be in bloom. I'm moving on a Sunday. Liquor law made the back row Baptist swoon. Record spinning, playing Stormy Monday. Mr. Riley, I hope I don't see you soon.
Is there, I mean, besides writing it here on the couch, is there anything that comes to mind when you think of the lyrically or recording wise or anything like that? Like that, any stories coming around the song?
Oh yeah, that's got a lot of symbolism inside of it. I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It's really just a story about me. I don't know. It's just like I just started singing one day, and I was really sad that morning. I had gotten a phone call, and just that's how sometimes when I get sad, I just pick up a guitar and start singing, and it just happened. It was just kind of the story about that day. It was April. It was snowing outside. It was dreary. It was gross, and so yeah, I just started singing about me, and came out. Yeah.
Yep. It's one of a few that I just kind of came in and played on, wasn't really involved in the writing process.
Yeah.
And
that one I just brought in a few of those.
Yeah, I loved it right away.
Right. Yeah, there's I mean, like I said, I got to listen to the recorded version we have coming soon, and hearing that first was a lot of fun. And then, but like, I don't know, I love live acoustic stuff, and I love like kind of those alternate takes or B-sides or different versions of songs and stuff too. So it was really a nice treat to like see you guys doing it just stripped down acoustic today. Hearing this version of it also. But yeah, there's something like really cool. Just kind of the way especially when Nathan kicks in with the acoustic, when those like ring together and stuff, like just like that strum where they like just something really powerful about that, like that moment in the song and stuff. Like it just like feels good. Like the whole song. I mean, like especially in the recorded version, like adding the background vocals and the organ sounds and everything.
Drums kick in.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, it's just a warm and cozy feeling kind of thing.
Which, real quick, along with Nathan, shout out, we got Cam Branson on drums, Kevin K. Newman on bass, and Chris Sanders on organ, which is funny. I met Chris while he was recording that song. They were just like, oh, yeah, we got an organ player at the studio, and so I like walked in. He was like tucked in the corner. I didn't even know what he looked like. He just in there playing the organ. I was like, "Oh my god, this is exactly what I heard."
Yeah.
And then since then he's done all the keys on everything, and then of course Nathan Sickmeier on the guitar.
That's right, and our engineer who plays guitars.
Oh, and Patrick Ramsey. Yeah, he's on some later tracks for sure.
Yeah. I think people are gonna really dig the, like I said, the studio track. It's kind of like, was that always like the, obviously you were talking about writing it by yourself, but like, was that kind of always the direction to like kind of? Yeah,
that's yeah. It's amazing how
take
like
it to church.
When that's how I heard it the entire time.
Yeah.
That's why it was so great when. Like it just opened up and it was like, oh man, this is it,
Right.
Yeah,
and so
I think I even sat down at your organ a little bit whenever you were playing it for me the first time. It was like, yeah, I definitely hear some organ on this.
Yep.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Chris brought in forgive me, I do not remember her last name, but her name's Dorian, the background vocalist on that track, and she was just phenomenal, super professional. Just came in, knocked everything out, was perfect, and then. Yeah, it was great, and it really adds a ton to that song. So,
well, you might be you'll be able to hear a full band version of the song, right? Coming up live at Blueberry Hill.
Blueberry Hill.
We got
the Duck Room.
And we're throwing a party on March 25th.
Yes, sir.
And this will be Riley Holtz and the Lost Cause, and my buddy John Henry.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun night of music for sure. John's he's always a party. He's got all kinds of great songs, and so that'll be a fun night for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be 3:25 doors at 7. I go on at 8. John goes on at 9:15, and maybe we'll jam together.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right.
But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a party. We got a ton of new songs. Once I started writing, I've had trouble stopping, which is a good thing, because the songs are only getting better. But the plan was for this to be the album release, but Nathan brought in a couple songs. I accidentally wrote some songs, and then it's like, oh, we need to record these,
Yeah,
so
they kind of like fit the vibe of the album.
But we'll be playing those at the Duck Room, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm excited about that for sure. Because, like I said, getting to see some of these songs. Because, like, I don't know. Like I said, Moving On is one I was like on repeat on the way down for sure. Like, so it'll be nice to see a proper full band display of that tune. So
yeah, it's the guy. I'm very, very lucky that the guys in my band are all. Well, better than me. That's always being the worst dude in the band is always a good thing in my opinion. So, we're gonna bring it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Let's talk about a song. We'll give them a little leak of what you do have recorded, and we want to play a song called "Home."
Yeah,
and this one, maybe you possibly heard it. We did put it out there.
Yeah, it was
leaked it early.
Yep, it was out on Bandcamp, and that'll be be one of the singles from the album. So yeah.
Another day of skipping class, my notebook's in my hand. front was covered in obscene words and stickers of my favorite bands. Dreaming of being anywhere, walking down the boulevard. An inconvenience at 16 can make life just seem too hard. Once I'm gone, I'll never go back home. No, I'll never go. Before I knew it, life would come and ship me out to sea. Cold and wet on the starboard side, wondering how my life could be. Now 1,000 miles from all directions, from any country shore. And if we head due west and hit land, it'd be 1,000 more. I'd give anything, anything to go back home. I'd give anything, anything to go back home. Missouri accents hanging around. She fell in love with the little things I just learned where I was raised. Felt lost and told me my home sounded like the perfect place. Now I'm on the way, I'm on the way back home. Yeah, I'm on the way, on the way back home. Plane touched down about an hour ago, that old suitcase in my hand. Brass around the handle rubbed against my wedding band. She grabbed my other hand with hers as we watched them break of dawn. Had to go around the world to figure out where I belong. But I found my way, I found my way back home. I found my way back home. Yeah, I found my way, I found my way back home. Yeah, I found my way, I found my way back home.
And what do you want to add around home? What's
This one was cool because Nathan and I were just in a room together and we just like started jamming, and we had the music for this for a while before I wrote the lyrics. But it was just something cool that Nathan and I started jamming on, and
Yeah, I was like, it just kind of gives me this vibe of like driving or on the way somewhere, on the way home kind of thing. And then that chorus kind of came out of that conversation. And
I wrote probably 3 songs worth of lyrics for this because I was just, nothing was working. And then finally it was one of those, I just like went back in and just wrote a song about me, you know? And so
yeah, the original concept was kind of morbid a little bit. It was, well, like, I've been like, well, let's think about different ways or different scenarios of getting home. So like a dog lost getting home, or like a trucker trying to get home, or
somebody dying,
somebody in the hospital dying, and eventually they go home, like to heaven or whatever. Sure. And like I had this whole vision of that, and I was stuck on that forever. And he's like, "Yeah, no, that's kind of dark."
But yeah, so I wrote a tune about kind of being inspirations from when I was working on ships and home.
Yeah, man.
On my way back home.
I like also in like the lyrics, one of the early lines you say, talking about your notebook with your band stickers on it and stuff, and like, and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, it kind of helps paint the picture, but I just feel like it's very, we all kind of, I feel like had that, like, especially as young adults or, teenage, high school and stuff or whatever. But, you always wanted to rocking all your favorite band stickers. I still got them all over my car.
Yeah.
It's like, I still,
I thought it was cool and would write cuss words on my
right.
I used to draw the Metallica emblem on all of my stuff.
Right.
One of my buddies did it and showed me how to do it. And
perfect.
I like that they like have like a whatever program or whatever, an app that like now you can just like type whatever into the Metallica font, kind of thing, and like it, how it does it for you. And stuff,
it's pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny about all that too. Like you would think like over the years things would change. Like things do change. I mean, the bands are maybe a little different, but I work in an elementary, and every kid still draws those S's.
S's, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where that kind of like.
And they're still wearing Rolling Stones t-shirts and Zeppelin t-shirts, Nirvana, yeah.
It just makes me laugh at how much things do change and how much things stay the same.
Yep.
And it's like you got a whole new generation and they're still doing the same dumb things we did when we were kids. So just makes me laugh seeing that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like I don't know where that. I mean. I don't even recall like why we started doing it or where, whatever, but I remember everybody was drawing that S on their notebooks and stuff like that. And like,
I could probably do it right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or those fortune teller.
pick a number.
Yeah. I see those too every now and then, all folded up and stuff. It makes me laugh. But yeah, I don't know. So what kind of bands? You're talking about writing curse words and stickers on there. What bands do you?
Nobody that really cusses now that I think about it. But no, I always liked old stuff. Even like when I got obsessed with Sinatra when I was like 12, and so it was nothing. It was always stuff that was like not popular, but it wasn't necessarily cool, like I remember bringing I got a Smokey Robinson, the Miracles greatest hits, and I brought the CD. I didn't have a CD player. I just brought the CD to school to show my friends, and they were like, we don't know who this person is. Is that your grandpa? Who is this? And so like I loved like Stevie Wonder and Al Green's saying, Marvin Gaye, and then like, James Taylor, and I was like, Sinatra. Ray Charles is probably one of my favorites. But yeah, it was like it was the stuff my dad listened to. My mom was raised super devout Church of Christ, so I don't think she heard a song until she was like 19. And so she just didn't have the she knew a bunch of gospel songs, but that was about it. So right. I just listened to what my dad liked, and that's what he was into, all that stuff. So
yeah. Well, I mean, that's a great start right there.
Yeah, sure, I'm saying like I got lucky because it was the greats. It was all the greats. So
I was thinking about that a little bit too last night, actually. Just like kind of that whole thing, like people, especially around, like in school, it's like where people kind of like make you feel bad for what you like, kind of thing, or like just like people want to make fun of you because you listen to something a little different or whatever, and people or people are like closeted fans of their whatever band they like, and so and it's like I don't know, it's like whatever you're listening to, whatever you like, don't be afraid to like it. Like I feel like there was a lot of that, like where everybody wanted to fit in with their friends, so they're like, oh, I listen to metal music or rap music or whatever it is, just to kind of fit in with that group. And
well, for the record, I say like I was also very pretentious about it. Yeah, so I would tell you, it's like, who's Frank Sinatra? It's like, don't even worry about it, dude. It's over your head. Yeah, right. You can't even. So I was never concerned about any of that. But not saying that's a good thing, but
I just feel like it happens a lot with the kids, and especially like but eventually everybody kind of I think outgrows it. But it's just like I was thinking about that the other night, and But yeah, man, Frank Sinatra is like, there's a reason those guys are all the greats and stuff. You know, the crooners and things. I think that stuff's always kind of fun. I mean, I can't pull it off that way, but at least something like Frank, like it with a deeper voice and stuff that some of those guys I can mimic pretty well, and it's fun to sing along to. And I mean, they're great songs.
No, I definitely wanted to be. Before I played any instruments, I wanted to be Michael Bublé before he was. I wanted a big band, and I was like, I'm going to bring crooning music back, and then freaking Just Haven't Met You Yet hit the charts, and my dream went away.
All right, let's play another song. This is another live take from the living room here, and this features Nathan playing some electric violin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is called Josie's Ring.
Josie's Ring, yep.
Yeah, man.
Well, he kicked me out the Navy at the time, he couldn't blame me. I was on a Greyhound back home. It took 11 hours, but the San Diego flower made me feel as though I wasn't alone. When we made it to St. Louis, well, I knew that I had blew it when they tried to pick me up downtown. Down an old Pontiac with the window cracked and headed west while they were looking around. Got your ring in my pocket, guess I get a chance to hock it, and I'm headed towards Abilene. Got the pedal to the floor towards the jobbing corridor, but gotta make a stop in Deadby Springs. Bible Belt, feeling I never felt for a Jesus-loving blonde-haired girl. Lord, I tried to treat her right, but I started losing sight when I gave that little redhead a whirl. Got your ring in my pocket, case I get a chance to hike it past the prison's house 63. Ain't a cowboy on the run, just a dumbass with a gun. Knew I should have been riding clean. Got your ring in my pocket, case I get a chance to hike it almost to the Newton County Sea. Mile after mile, and hell I'll smile, playing Josie Wales in my dreams. Well, he kicked me out the Navy at the time, he couldn't blame me. I was on a Greyhound back home. It took 11 hours, but that San Diego flower made me feel as though I wasn't alone.
What do you want to tell us about this one?
This came like, I want to say the day after moving on, maybe 2 days later. It was just, I had the line, I joined the Navy after high school and was promptly let go. I lied to him about having asthma, and they didn't like that. So it was all good, But yeah, I got sent home early, and there was this. It was from Chicago to Joplin, Missouri. Was supposed to be the ride. I got off in St. Louis because my dad lived here at the time. But anyway, I sat next to this girl, and I don't remember her name, but she was from San Diego. She was going on a bus from Chicago to San Diego, and I was just like, man, I'm bitching about this 6 hour or whatever, however long ride it was, Yeah. And she was going to be on there for 2 days. But anyway, I just talked to her the entire time. I don't remember her name, but I just they kicked me out the Navy at the time. He couldn't blame me. I was on a Greyhound back home. It took 11 hours, but that San Diego flower made me feel as though I wasn't alone. I had that line, and I was like, I got to do something with that. And so then it was just kind of, it's got references to all the little towns that I've lived in or spent significant time in throughout my life in Missouri. And then one of my favorite Westerns was Josie Wales. Outlaw Josie Wales was from Missouri. I loved that as a kid. So that's where the Josie comes from.
Yeah.
Just driving through Missouri, all these little towns in Missouri. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that stuff's fun too, man. Like kind of, I just feel like sometimes when you're growing up, you think like wherever you're from is like the most boring place kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know? It's like,
absolutely.
And then like, you just, everybody, I feel like has these feelings. They dream about something else and a different life kind of thing. And then it's like, but something changes where you also, then you realize like, man, there is a lot of cool stuff here. Like there's a lot of history, especially Missouri. Like, you learn that kind of stuff like that. And like, for me, I live in Wentzville, and same kind of, I was like, man, there's nothing in this town. And then like, I learned it wasn't all that long before I got there. Chuck Berry lived out in Wentzville, and like, so it's like, knowing that I shared a property line with one of the, Godfather of rock and roll and
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
It's like that kind of thing. It's like it's a weird thing to think about and stuff. So, but yeah, it's fun to go through some of those small Missouri towns and learn a little bit about their history and stuff, and find out there's a lot of cool things that happen around here.
Yeah. I've lived in some small ones. So.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
well, they all got stories to tell. That's
absolutely.
So yeah, I mentioned Nathan playing a little violin on this one. Which I think is like, I mean, you mentioned playing guitar, playing violin. Like it's nice to have a kind of a utility player. Like,
oh, dude, I call him Jose Oquendo because he's the secret weapon.
Yeah.
He can literally do it all.
We always joke that it's my album and he's just singing.
Yeah, I'm just singing on Nathan's album, Nathan and the Lost Cause. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, and he also does. We have several tracks with full horns on that, and he arranges all that and plays the trumpet and whatever lower register, whether that be baritone or trombone, whatever he brings in that day. And yeah, I mean, he's played keys, synth stuff, and so yeah.
Yeah, man.
Jose Oquendo.
Yeah. Funny story about, you probably don't even know this, but I came up with that melody for Josie with the fiddle on the way to the studio.
Oh, really?
That day. Yeah.
Hey, that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably go through it a lot, but is there a real difference in fiddle and violin, or is it?
It's really about how you play it more than anything. Like in the old days, I guess.
The olden days.
Back in the times of yore, the fiddles were actually a different size because they're set up pretty flat, so you catch multiple strings.
Right.
And a lot of fiddle players still set their violins up differently so that they can catch, do the double stops and all that stuff. But really, it's the same instrument. It's just how you play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was always kind of like, I didn't know if it had anything to do with the like style or genre or anything, like, because it seems like, fiddle's always leaning more towards country and, kind of thing. So
I call it my fiddle, even though I'm really more of a guitar player that plays fiddle kind of thing. I'm classically trained on violin, but like it turns into an electric guitar most of the time.
Yeah. What was your, where did it start for you? What was the first instrument you picked up?
Drums.
Drums?
Yeah. I'm drummer first, actually. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But everybody knows me as the fiddle guy, so
Yeah.
I get the call for that more often.
Well, that's when you have like something like that where obviously there's a lot of guitar players, a lot of drummers and bass and those kind of things. So when you get a guy like that can play a fiddle, violin, or some of those auxiliary kind of things
and rip it.
Yeah,
too.
right. And
yeah, that's.
But those guys are in high demand whenever you find a good one and that do that kind of stuff. So I'm sure you get a lot of calls for other random recording or gigs or different things.
Yeah, I think I gig once a year on drums, maybe.
Yeah. What Well, again, snag some tickets. Blueberry Hill, March 25th. With John Henry.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Super good time.
Yeah, and we don't have any dates or anything, but hopefully we'll be getting some of these recordings. A couple more out there soon, and maybe the album soon in 23 here. So
it will be soon.
Yeah. So, but you can follow along with Riley Holtz and the Lost Cause on Instagram.
Riley Holtz and the Lost Cause.
And for more info coming soon. Hopefully we can get back together and catch up on whenever the album's ready and share, debut some songs and everything else too.
Yeah, man. No, thanks again.
Sounds
for real having us on here. This is awesome.
But yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys doing this, and it was a great hang today, man.
For sure, dude.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye, everyone.